bowing out. The next encounter is set to see the hosts South Africa up against the Seychelles. These are the islanders who are the rookies within this competition. For the very first time, they applied their trade. This is what Group A looks like. South Africa already qualified for the semi-finals. So this means that we will say goodbye to all three teams, Namibia, Eswatini and Seychelles, come the end of today. Well, this is the change room of Banyana Banyana. This is the side that is looking to make it 8 times lucky. Yes, the Mother Association, SAFA, being on the chest of the girls. As you know, they will be led by Talia Smith within this competition. And man, oh man, they go up against the Seychelles. They're looking to use this encounter as preparation for what will be within the semi-finals. Coach Mot Kumalo, our pride and joy, teamed up with Anna Monate. They've put together a team that has nothing but cream de la cream. You take out one player and the substitutions are just as great as your starting 11. Now, how many goals can South Africa get past the Seychelles? They're still yet to score a goal within this competition. In this encounter, they play for pride. They play for their dignity. But apart from that, they'll also leave Gqeberha with so many lessons within their bag. As I've said, it's the very first time that these islanders come to this encounter. So possibly just getting a goal for today, that will be enough for them to go back to the island and show their people. A young squad. So much still to come from this side, as we know that football is growing within their island. So, for the years to come, what is yet to be? As the action does continue, we give it to you live and direct. This encounter already sees South Africa having already secured their spot within the semi-finals. However, 90 minutes still needs to be played for formality's sake. Let's hear from the coaches as to what this encounter means to them, but also from the Seychelles. Can they buy out with style and cause an upset for the South Africans? Coach Mot Kumalo, are we using this match as preparation for the semis?
Yes, most definitely. It's something that we've planned. But remember, for the semi-finals is a different ball game. So here is just to make sure that we fix things that we didn't do right in the past 2 games and also give players a confidence to go to the next game.
You talk about fixing things. Let's start at the back. Nduli returns, and you also have Patla who's steers.
Yeah, we just give them a lokunjan. It's more like activating the players, you know, because of we don't want them to sit that long not playing. Because of now, as you are saying, we're preparing for the next game. So it's better for us to have those players that we know what we're gonna need them in the semis, we're gonna need them in the final. So just to give them the run. So because everybody has played. So but now we're focusing on the next game, of which is a semi-final, of which is a very crucial game because it's a knockout stage there. Yeah.
With your center pairing of Mkhwanazi and Mokhale, how do you look forward to that playing out? Is Mokhale supposed to drop back? Explain to us how you plan on it.
Mokhale is more of a rest defense, you know, and she's got that quality of long-range passes. So also we're looking at that way. We know that they're not going to head us up front. So the plan around that is to make sure that we have more numbers up front so that we can get goals that we need. So for us, it's just a game plan to see how we can balance the team because of now taking Talia Smith, our captain, to rest her. And we know Mohale is going to replace her. But it's more of us, it's a game plan. But Mohale, as I said, is more of a rest defense. He's very good in duels, things like that. And we're having Aisha Musa and Sinamile Mkhwanazi, which are ball players, you know. So we're just doing the mix and to keep the balance in the middle because of we don't want to leave to disrupt the structure of how we play.
And growing the confidence of Hollis up front.
Yes, definitely. She's quite a good player as long as she can stay on target because of her turns, you know, her technique, you know, the runs that she makes. I feel like they are on point. She's just missing to put one in the net. So we're just building that confidence in her to say that even though you don't score, you are assisting, you are creating chances, you are making those runs, you know. So it's more of us giving the players that confidence and also working on their strengths.
Alrighty, Coach. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Coach, it's your last game. How do you keep your players motivated just so that they have a good account of themselves bowing out?
Well, I think we identified good lessons from the Namibia's game. So we watched the game and we identified those good moments that we want to bring in towards today's game. So like I said, it's a young team, so we are just going out there relentless and fearless. And that is what has kept kept them going. And I think playing against the South African team is definitely a huge honour for us, and we really want to see how far we can match up to them, and from then bring the lessons back home and of course train harder.
You, obviously, because it is your last game, how are you looking to cause an upset, or at least not make it a walk in the park for South Africa?
Well, I think we have been working a lot on our intrinsic motivation. So we set our own team goals and targets, and of course we know that South Africa did an interview on SAFA.net, and we read the article. So that article actually fired the team up, and we'll be like, yeah, we'll not give them an easy game. Yeah.
You made a change to your starting 11, especially in your striking department.
Yeah. So Emma is a player that we really want to get her involved in the game. However, she was facing a bit of an injury issue. So we managed to sort that out, and we are happy to have her playing one of the games.
And on your bench, are we going to see some players who haven't had a run out today?
We will see how the game goes, and of course, like I said, we do not just want to let them have a walk in the park, right? We still want to give them our best, and we want to respect our opponents, so we are definitely going to play our very best, even though some players might not get the run out they need. But it's something we will figure out back home, and of course give the playing minutes that they eventually should get.
Well, Coach, thank you. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Well, welcome to the Madibas Stadium. It is crunch time. It is 3 p.m. and thank you for joining us wherever you are. 18 degrees is what it is, and the weather, a bit of a drizzle that will not dampen the spirits of the players that are taking duty. It is South Africa that is up against the Seychelles, and one is expecting nothing but good delivery, and the ball boys, the ball girls who lead out the team and the dignitaries for this much anticipated match. It is a Group A clash, match number 14. That is the South African bench. They're looking very relaxed, they're looking very calm. That is the bench of the Seychelles. They're looking rather anxious. So absolutely contrasting feels, contrasting objectives. It is about 3 points nevertheless, and South Africa will want to make sure that they go into the knockout phases with a 100% record. They were one of the first teams to qualify into the knockout stages. Well, alongside me is Dane Clayton, and he will be giving you his expert analysis as we go on. That is Maud Kumalo, the coach, and Anna Munati, given the responsibility to look after this team as they take them through to greater heights. We also have Coach Chris on the opposite bench of the Seychelles. She too is given a task to build and rebuild, to get the confidence of the players. 131,000 is the population out in the Seychelles. This place, gorgeous landscapes, divided, and making sure that the rich culture continues to be on display. Two teams walking onto the park. South Africa in their familiar yellow and green uniform with the yellow stockings, and the Seychelles with the white dominating, a bit of red stripes and white stockings. We will get the national teams of both countries. And
ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Seychelles. And now the national anthem of South Africa.
for all the players that are on the pitch as the rain plummets down. And this being one of the best prepared pitches, the drainage system, one of the best. Groundsman has done a job in anticipation. Now we look at Coach Maud Kumalo in her anticipation of the outcome of this match. That is the lineup. Just 5 changes that I'm spotting. That in actual fact just 5 players remaining in the side. Musa, Mohale, Pila, Khadebe and Williams. The rest are being given that opportunity to collect the minutes and make sure that if called upon, they are ready and able. They're coming out with a 3-4-3 formation, packing the midfield. Mkwanazi and Mohale expected to be the 2 players that will just give South Africa the balance in that midfield. And here are the Islanders. But before then, we'll have a look at the officials. Grace Gimo of Zimbabwe, Bernadette Kwimbira of Malawi, it is Mercy Zulu of Zambia, and Sinyo Singh of Botswana. The 2 captains of the side, Jessica Williams, she is joined by Pascaline Moustache. A very important moment for both the young ladies. And here is the VAR, Letitia Antonella Vienna from Eswatini, Polozzo Mampara. Those will be the 2 referees that we will refer to if there is a need. The lineup for Seychelles, it is one that picking up just 2 changes. That is in goal, Kuchira Porras and Emma Esperon up front. So shutting the back door and hoping for goals. And one would look in the middle of the park and say Rachel Cadeo, Gura Boniface, it's Alvina Horeo and Moustache. Looking at the lineup, packing also the midfield, trying to cut the lines out from South Africa. It's a 4-2-3-1 formation. Esperon is the player up front that will be manning the lines. Florentine and Horeb on the left and the right hand side. Well, this is Coach Chris. An absolute pleasure to speak to Coach Chris, who always remains positive, who has so much of belief in her young players. And this side of the Seychelles could be one of the young sides in the tournament. South Africa, on the other hand, on a rebuilding phase, they have played exceptionally well to get thus far, making sure that they get the goals that matter. In the first match against Namibia, it was a 1-0 effort, a goal scored in the 84th minute against Eswatini, making light work of our neighbours. 3-0 was the scoreline, but going to the break with a 1-0 in the bag. Referee just looking around her and wanting to make sure that everything is on point and that we get underway. South Africa gets us started.
Yeah, interesting formation. South Africa chose a 3-4-3, a very attacking information. 4 across the midfield, 3 at the back, and obviously 3 attacking strikers, so to speak. And of course, South Africa will be looking to get an early goal from here on in.
An early goal just to settle the nerves, an early goal just to see if they can start playing according to the coach's expectations, which is to rotate the ball, which is to keep possession, which is to enjoy yourself more than anything. Well, if the bookies are out here and the bets are out there, yes, this being a HollywoodBets COSAFA Women's Championship, the question will be, who's your money on?
Now, of course, if I'm a betting person, of course, I'll bet to a banana. It's just a matter of how many goals they're going to score today. And, of course, with the rain falling and the field becoming a little bit more greasy, you know, which will allow for the flow of the ball much quicker.
Well, for goalkeepers, this kind of weather is an absolute nightmare. So Jessica Williams will have to be at her best to make sure that she protects her goal of giving chase as Hollis. That ball a little too much of it. So the weighting of the ball is one that's going to be guarded at, as the ball just gets this kind of weather conducive to putting the ball on the ground, letting the ball do the work. Also, asking questions of the fitness of the players.
Yeah, no, it needs a little bit extra concentration because of the first touch with the ball coming at speed, especially when it bounces off the turf. It makes for an interesting game, and it will suit Banyana way more because of the intensity that they try and play, and automatically the field helps with the intensity.
Here's Hollis looking to whip him across. Takes a throw in very quickly. Who's available? Keisha Hendricks on the far side. Ball is in the air. Questions been asked of the defense of Seychelles.
Banyana showing some early intent, which is positive to see, and they will be looking at obviously moving that ball around swiftly and trying to move this low-sitting block of Seychelles.
Well, it is a low-sitting block. One will have to see how they adjust the game. Mukhale, who's not being allowed the time and the space to conjure up some moves, looking for a ball in search of Mukhelwa, instead finds a white jersey. South Africa keeps the ball in play. Mukhelwa does well, but on a second attempt, it is the Seychelles who tidy up. The navigator, Aisha Musa, finds herself looking for the return pass. She is in an offside position. Hollis showing presence of mind and understanding that the players find themselves in an offside position. That goes narrowly wide. Flag is up, and a goal kick. Or is it an offside?
Yeah, it's offside. I think the VAR came into play a bit later. There was a hint of offside, and of course straying slightly offside there, and it's the correct decision.
South Africa, another attacker, Khadebe on the left-hand side. Hendricks takes her eye off the ball. Dooley, who plays a football for the University of Johannesburg. She's in the back three. Dooley, Khadebe, and Kala. Here's a Mukhelwa, and that is a poor delivery.
Again, the ball skidding off the turf. You know, you must just be careful, a little bit of extra concentration. In that occasion, the eyes was just taken off the ball.
Goalkeeper Doris have to be on her toes and alert at every opportunity. South Africa playing in the opposition half, and very early in this match, the opening 5 minutes, you could see that South Africa's intentions are to get that early goal. They want to take control of the match. And good turn. Well, just to share on the team sheets, we have jersey number 10 of Seychelles sitting on the bench, but a last-minute change has been made, so jersey number 10 finds herself in the starting lineup of the Seychelles.
Yeah, the reason to find out what actually happened with the reason for the change.
All the way to keeper. Jessica Williams brings in the diminutive Nguli. Musa leads the run. Hollis did well to stay on side, but Khadebe again finds herself in an offside position. Asanda Khadebe plays a football for Mamelodi Sundowns. Was also on the books of Sunflower, a team out in KZN. Gave chase. This is Miss Hendricks. Plays a football for the University of Forte. Number of players that are on duty are from the university sides. Represented are University of Johannesburg, University of Forte, Tux, TUT, and you have a few players from TS Galaxy, Mamelodi Sundowns, and JVW making up the team. The work ethic of Hollis, second to none. And the pressure that she mounts on the defense, forcing that throw in.
Yeah, she's got a lot of tenacity in her, always ready to chase a lost course. And of course, that's a mark of a very, very good striker. It's, I think for any defender, you know, when they come up against a striker that's always willing to run the extra mile, it becomes difficult to play against.
So just looking at the Seychelles, and when you compare the population, that snapshot from Mokhalek, she will do that for most of the match, and there's nothing wrong with that. A coach will encourage her to do that. That ball just getting a bounce, but a bounce as Mtlogelwa just knocks that down with the chest for an oncoming Mtlogelwa. She appreciates, but the execution is something that is to be worked on. Pressure. Throw in for South Africa. Again,
Hollis initiating the high press, you know, forcing them to one side that they want to go into and forcing the error. South Africa with a throw in on the far side.
Ball bubbling in the air. We've had the sun, we've had the wind, we have the rain.
Welcome to the windy city, and welcome to the friendly city of Port Elizabeth.
Well, yeah, just living up to its name. Pala on the left-hand side. She is looking for the openings and finds Musa, who's rotating in that midfield, but she decides to leave that for Khadebe. Keisha keeps that in play. South Africa trying to take shots from a distance. At this moment, the plan not coming together. Just a bit of composure needed.
Yeah, just a little bit of a shot that was a bit rushed over there, and the angle not really allowing for the shot to be on target. And we'd like to see the ball rotated from one side to the other side a little bit more at this stage.
One thing that is going to be a challenge, conditions contributing as well, is the fact that the ball will be more out of play than in play. Mtlogelwa picks her head up, needs a good delivery. Ball hangs in the air, keeper comes out. Khadebe, he doesn't get hold of that. And our DJ also gets caught up in that. He had already counted that that ball was in the back of the net, and he had to be stopped in his tracks.
Yeah, DJ getting a bit ahead of himself over there. I think it was expected of South Africa to take the lead there, you know, just a fluffed shot and obviously skewing it.
70 goals were scored in the previous tournament. Still plenty of games. This is match number 14. 70 goals in 22 matches.
As we approach 10 minutes, I think it's been a positive start from South Africa. Pinning Seychelles back as expected, and you know, obviously looking to get an opening goal.
Well, the luxury of the coach. In the previous match, it was 7 changes that were made. In this match, just 5 remaining. A spine of the team. 6 new faces in the lineup.
Yeah, previous match South Africa had the luxury of making seven changes as well, and the coach alluding to the fact that all they're trying to do is to prepare for the semi-finals and try and create competition within the group.
Seychelles, who have been missing since 2019 to 2023, a far cry from a team that was on the receiving end in 2022 in Rwanda, tournament that was held in reunion. But it has been a busy year for the Islanders as Keisha tries to make sure she looks after and takes a beautiful strike. She fixed her feet, had all the time in the world, and draws one from the top shelf. That is Keisha. Keisha Hendricks took the time.
Oh, fantastic strike, you know, coming in there, steadying herself, and obviously, you know, trying to get the ball on target, and fantastic off the underneath the crossbar and into the back of the net.
Even if you were one of the top goalkeepers, look at that. It dips at the last minute. It hits that crossbar. As it drops, it goes into the back of the net.
Fantastic strike. I think she backed herself over there. Of course, a good technique shown and a fantastic strike.
That's the beginning. Announcing herself at international level. That is Keisha. Is this the beginning of the floodgates? Remember, the record of this tournament is 17-0, and that was South Africa against the Comores.
Yeah, I think South Africa will try and score as many goals as they can, and like I said, you know, it's all about creating competition within the group and giving the coach a headache on selection for the semi-finals.
So Seychelles decide they will go route one, spotting Jessica off a line, and lack of communication, as Jessica is one of those players that doesn't stay on a line. But this is what happens when you have a new pairing. Lack of communication, and Nduli there just heading that ball and was hoping that she would play it back to Jessica. And had that been a line to the goal mouth, it could have possibly been an own goal.
Yeah, again the wind playing with the ball, and of course the ball skidding off the player's head because of the moist on the ball, and it could have caught Williams off guard there, but luckily it was off target.
Corner for the Seychelles. First one of the match for Seychelles. Another chance to whip that ball on the edge of the box. Decent effort. That will only but encourage Florentine. Got a good connection of that, just doesn't get it on target. But it was a well-worked ball from the wide areas. As Keisha Moustache, the player who was in a very advanced position. Moustache, Musa keeps the ball, looking for Mukugelo. Did she stay onside? And that being a goal kick.
Yeah, all the hard work, and in the final delivery, of course, the ball ricocheting off a non-kicking foot on that occasion. Again, the pitch and the moist coming into play.
Conceding 13 goals thus far. They played to a 6-0 loss against Eswatini. That was their first match. And the Seychelles went on to play against Namibia, and losing that one by 7 goals to 0. In that particular match, it was Namibia that broke the record of the best win ever. And in the same match, it was a 50th cap for a player that is very well celebrated. That is Zanatha Coleman. There's South Africa. Keeper goes out, and she stayed down as Jessica Williams. Got a little bit of a clip on the...
Second time Nelise Fred needs to settle down a little bit. Second time she's making a mistake. The header that went for a corner. And of course now the miscontrol. You know, she's just got to concentrate a little bit extra and try and rectify it.
Now, Nduli is a fast player. But when you look at Esperon, showing her a clean pair of heels, you must just know that that player is on fire.
No, of course, yeah. I could see the amount of speed and how she went past that player. They got to be very, very careful and just be wary of that.
Coach Sesh is bringing players on to give them the much-needed competition. Maybe just accepting that the scoreline will definitely be one that is respectable. They don't fancy their chances in winning, but they are going to give a good account of themselves.
Yeah, again, when you play against a team like Seychelles, where South Africa is expected to win by a bigger margin, you know, a lapse of concentration and a little bit of complacency can creep in, you know, and that has allowed Seychelles 2 chances, and that was the errors of South Africa.
You know, when Coach Chris was talking about the development of her team and talking about 2024 being a busy time for the Seychelles, is that another goal, and that just goes all the way out. Graceful opportunities that are being delivered in the box, but you've got to look at Mutlugelo on the right-hand side, causing a lot of problems, but she too needs to be cautious. the offside is being played by the Seychelles. So maybe if she holds a run or even just bends a run every now and then, try to mix it. And Keisha appreciating the supply.
Yeah, good numbers added in the box there. Good ball across the face of the goal. And again, you know, that the numbers that Africa is putting in the box tells you the story. Every time the ball is in wide areas, you got to have numbers in the box for you to create chances.
Well, on the other end, the other match that is taking place, it is Namibia and Eswatini. And Namibia have taken the lead. Hollis, that ball just trickling again over the line. How many misses?
I think it will only be a matter of time for Hollis to get in the score sheet. She's always there, always putting herself about, and that's a mark of a good striker. You know, no matter how many times you don't hit the target, you got to be there for the next one.
As it stands, South Africa with 9 points, yet to concede in this tournament. Namibia, who have taken the lead against Eswatini, find themselves in second position. Eswatini with just 3 points, and that was 3 points they got in a match against the Seychelles by 6-0. Is a bit of a crowd that have come to get behind the ladies. Ball out on the left-hand side. Asanda. Rotation. Musa. Referee coming into play. Should be a drop ball. Get restarted. She'll call for it. Referee being the 12th player on the field. Oh, here they are trying to get behind the team. They've come in their numbers. The weather was not to stop and deter any one of these who are really football-loving people, and the support for women's football continues to grow. So well done to all those who have come to witness South Africa and the Seychelles match.
I actually had a conversation just before the match with Rio van Heerden, who is a coach at Madibas for the university, just about the game and about the level of play, and we were chatting about the 5-0 loss of Bafana against Denmark.
Banyana against Denmark.
Sorry, my bad.
Yes, Keisha. That ball goes right through. Keeper collects. The rain continues to come down.
Keisha Hendricks have been a live wire in the South African team up to this point in the first 20 minutes. She's really put herself about and kept the width on the left-hand side, and created a couple of chances, of course, scoring the goal as well.
Butlogelo looking for the return ball from Musa. Hollis. The flag is up. The referee, 20 minutes on the clock. Hollis was in an offside position as that ball was played. Correct decision. There's no need to visit VAR. That has been a talking point.
The crowd obviously on their feet and in good spirits.
They could be in better spirits.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think.
Or they could be in the best spirit.
Yeah, no, I think they're trying to spur the ladies on, and I think they can definitely hear that, and I'm pretty sure they'll give a good account of themselves throughout the 90 minutes.
It is Monday, and they're supposed to be in school somehow, but have made an effort to come and witness our girls doing their stuff at the Madibas Stadium, when they find the goings difficult and unable to break that wall of Jericho. And I'm talking about the wall of Seychelles. They rotate the ball, going all the way back in search of the openings and trying to draw in the Seychelles. And then it's the long ball. Hollis Mutlakhalwa, can she finish it off? And offside, the flag goes up. But you gotta love Hollis. The way she strikes that ball, it's a matter of time. International level, this is the first international, getting maybe her third cap in this tournament. Hollis.
Yeah, she's a fantastic player. Like you're saying, it's her first tournament, and she can only learn from this experience. But anticipation is very, very good. Anything at ricochet, she's always ready to receive it and get in the end of it. South Africa has scored offside 4 times now already. Of course, Seychelles are not seeing much of South Africa's half.
Good chase from Miss Hendricks, who's been given the room to rove on the touchline. Forte have been dependent on the work ethic of Hendricks. Here's Skakaka. Mukhale, one of the players that gives South Africa so much balance. Played a lot of football with the boys out in Kempton Park. Is Mukhale, is Keisha playing it back. Available is Musa, much better, much pleasing to the eye. And then that ball over the top. Pila, who's today operating in a little bit of an advanced position, and Mutlakhalwa and Hendricks just slightly tighter in the front three. So
the crowd again on their feet, you know, and with Seychelles keeping that low block, I think it's important for South Africa the way they're trying to rotate the ball from one side to the other side, and then going in and getting wide and getting balls into the box. So they've been doing well.
It is matches like this where coaches want to implement some of the new stuff. When I'm talking about the new stuff, some of the free kicks, how to deal with certain situations, and with these 6 players that have been brought on, you'd want to. Look at that! Goal! Beauty! Parla gets onto the score sheet. Second goal of the match. The minute it left her foot, she knew. She started celebrating. Those loved it. We loved it. But that was absolutely incredible. A cracker. Dando Parla.
That'll certainly spur the crowd on and lift the spirits up even more. You know, fantastic strike from South Africa to make it 2-0. And oh, that's a beautiful range. And the keeper, no chance, coming off her line forward and not anticipating that the ball will go overhead. And that's a fantastic finish.
The way she traps that ball, had all the time in the world, nobody around her, picked her spot, and then she put venom.
Of course, not only venom, you know, it's important to try and get that ball on target. Anything can happen from there and in, and there's a typical example of striking the ball cleanly but on target.
So 2-0 for South Africa. 24 minutes, almost making a habit of scoring a goal every 10 minutes. Come and join us at the Madibas. If you want to come and see the creme de la creme, Jessica, who herself made history being a goalkeeper that sent a package that had the no return sign on it. Sometimes you can say return to sender. There's Mutlakhalwa. Keeper spills it. Kisha! 3-0.
Fantastic finish. And the crowd goes wild once more. Like I said, Keisha Hendricks have had a fantastic start to the game, getting a second goal. And that's a fantastic strike, and South Africa with a 3-0 lead over Seychelles after 25 minutes.
No second invitation for Keisha. Very lethal. Did well to actually switch flanks and come to the right-hand side. Not spotted. The keeper not making sure. And this is what we're talking about, Dane, saying that weather conditions of this magnitude or of this nature are a nightmare for a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper made the save. She needed her defense to come to the rescue. And nobody was there. And Keisha says, I'm there. Hand up. Wababa.
Now, a beautiful first strike. And then, of course, Keisha and Hollister anticipating that the ball is going to ricochet there and following up and finishing it off very, very nicely.
We've seen some brilliant goals in this tournament. We've seen some excellent goals in this tournament. As Coach Maud, she's still unhappy about something. And we spoke about coaches. When do you ever get to please them? Even if the scoreline is 3-0, 25 minutes.
Nah, the passion and the dedication is what it's all about. You know, it's hardly ever you see a coach that's just sitting there and not saying anything. You know, there's always something to look out for, the rest defense.
I think there's a check with the VAR and whether or not that goal is allowed to stand. Are there elements of offside? And it does stand. So 3-0, we confirm that to you out in the other match. Namibia and Eswatini are still sprouting their stuff with Namibia in the lead by a goal 2-0. Emma. Kwanazi. Hollis. Kwanazi did well to stay onside. Another teasing ball. Keeper. Finished. Hollis. Hat-trick. Offside. All in one. All in one. The keeper has got to get the timing of the flight of the ball. So Hollis thought she was already on a hat-trick.
Marginal offside there from Keisha. She tried to time her run, but unfortunately not. She strayed slightly offside and the correct decision was given.
It's the head. They even talk about the torso sometimes.
Correct, yeah. Sometimes it's the body part
the body
yeah, there's a body part that's offside.
The toe. So that was pretty easy for the referees to call it an offside. Kadio. Hollis trying to stop the Seychelles from the front. And the coach will tell you, let's defend from the front.
She's so willing, in her work ethic is incredible. You know, she's willing to lead that press, and she's doing it very, very well by forcing the players to go in one direction.
We got to hear the coach sing her praises, talking about her technical ability, the runs that she makes.
Yeah, she's a typical striker that plays off the edge of the defense, on the shoulders of the defenders, and looking to go in behind all the time.
Well, the singing has started. They asking the referee questions.
I think the crowd is willing to get VAR on board here.
Yeah, they'll probably go and check it themselves. They'll probably go and check it themselves.
Yeah, just important to note that the match the previous match, I think the decisions took a little bit of time and dragged out a little bit more. We'd like to see that improve a little bit.
Had the opportunity during the break to speak to Mr. Felix Tangawarima, who is the manager and the instructor of the VAR referees, and he's saying yes, today being the first time that they are using the VAR, it will get better and better. So he is in agreement with the fact that let's cut them some slack. So 30 minutes, 3-0. That almost looks like a goal every 10 minutes.
You did mention that VAR was part of the COSAFA the last edition, and of course only 4 referees was qualified back then.
Yeah. We will get a lot more certified after this match. Here's a chance for the team in yellow and green. Ball from Kwanazi being forced backwards, but available was Asanda Khadebe on the left-hand side, getting the last touch off a white jersey. Boniface, who's really had a torrid time. Oh, and the celebrations continue.
Yeah, the crowd will be looking for more goals to celebrate. That's why they came out here today in their numbers and in very, very good spirit. So expect the singing to get louder with each and every goal.
Good to see them nice and warm. Played short this time. A little bit of variation is always welcome. Gooley can pack a shot. Ball hangs in the air, header, and keeper collects it. This time she made no mistake. She knows she's got to deal with Tanya. She's got to deal with Mutluchelwa. Not forgetting Hendricks as well, who's on a hat-trick.
Again, the wind playing with the flight of the ball, they're making it difficult for the South African player to get decent contact, enough contact on it to make a crucial attempt, but the keeper well positioned.
Boniface, who's normally the player that's playing out in the right back position. Mistake made. And not getting a hold of that. There's Boniface, who hacks that ball away. She's all over the park as Boniface. There's two players that almost look alike on the field. But there's also sisters. Hollis on the edge of the box. Good control. Moustache.
That's positive from Hollis, getting the shot on target. Obviously, the keeper making a save there, and that'll be good for her confidence going forward.
The two sisters, Moustache, who is the younger of the two, jersey number 17 and jersey number 7. Pascalina and Keisha. This is the earlier attempt by South Africa. That ball just getting past everybody. Keisha on the wrong technique in that moment. Maybe she needed the left foot just to curl that into the back of the net. Instead, she uses the right foot, and that ball just ricocheting off the shin.
Yeah, I think she just mistimed the skid of the ball off the turf in that occasion.
Ball in the air, it hangs. Hacking it all the way. The amount of defending. This is a young Keisha Moustache. That's a little too much to ask. Yes, Keisha Hendricks is a player that does have the pace, but that was a little too much to ask of Keisha. Scoring in the 12th minute and in the 25th minute, 24th minute. So 2 quick goals just knocked the wind out of the assails. Pala in the 24th minute. Matatikin takes the ball out to Boniface. Boniface looking for Moustache. She's pickpocketed. South Africa tells you, I'm going to get a 2-finger. Let's see how much we can be disruptive. Many would know what a 2-finger is. On the left-hand side, Hendricks switching flanks. She needs the ball whipped in. Gets another bite at the cherry. Goes down. Here's Emma. Goal scorer. Pala. Goes to Ndluli. Ndluli brings in Mohale. Hollis, to me, looked a little bit straying in an offside position. I think she needs a quicker delivery.
Correct, yeah, 100% Gloria. I was going to say the slight delay on the pass there just made Hollis realize that she's going to be straying offside.
Need to rather send that ball ahead of her. She's the kind of player that wants to run onto the balls. She has or is blessed with pace. It will be interesting to put them on your marks. That is Hollis, Simwaka. It's a 100% record by South Africa with 9 points. Qualified before this particular match. That's when a coach can relax. You in any tournament, navigate the first one. Musa loses out. Here's Hollis. Quanaz. Another one skidding over the park. You navigate the first one.
Yeah, on that occasion there, Aisha Musa getting into the box. I was going to say she needs to get in the box a little more, and she got in the box there, and that's very encouraging for her for her confidence as well. Anything can drop to her and she can get a goal. That's the type of player she is.
I definitely would like Musa to be a lot more closer to the front pairing, you know, maybe in that number 8 role or number 10 role. Keisha, decent ball, keeper in no man's land. Mutluchelwa will keep it in play. Quanaz is available. Khadebe also in the thick of things. Can they play the short pass? Mohali will ask the questions. Here's Ndluli. She'll get ahead of Emma. The goal scorer, Pala. Pala comes out to Pila. Pala, Pila, Pasha. Here's Hendricks. Getting in between the two players, being held back. And that just needed Mtlogelwa to get into a much more profitable area. It's been wave after wave. You got to give kudos to the Seychelles, who have managed to keep South Africa at bay, also causing a bit of frustration.
Yeah, it'll be a difficult afternoon for Seychelles. After 36 minutes, of course, South Africa already 3-0 up. And Keisha Hendricks looking very, very lively with a dangerous ball across the face of the goal. Just needed someone to get a foot on it and tap it in the back of the net.
Unless it's a grass cutter this time. Was hoping for Musa to get in front of the goalkeeper. That didn't happen. Having come into the camp on the weekend, these players are playing together for the first time in this tournament, and conveyor belt is absolutely necessary. You look at Keisha coming out of two defenders, slithering through. Dooley. Dynamites coming small packages. That's one of those dynamites. UJ. Last touch coming off a white jersey. That is a corner to South Africa. Boniface, who is the player for the Seychelles, that plays for Montflair in the Seychelles. Got players playing for Marina Victoria. You've also got players playing for Young Kestrel. All domestic, local players. In South Africa, we call them Amapina Plus. Player on the receiving end went down. Good to see her up and about and on her feet again.
Very brave defending from the Seychelles player on that occasion again. Putting a body on the line, the ball ricocheting off her head.
You know, Dane, what has been pleasing of late is the number of young players that are coming through in the PSL. And a testament to that is also the fact that the under-20 boys team lifting the trophy in the recent tournament. And that is due to the fact that they're not just making the numbers, they've been given the opportunity to show their talent. And here again, we're looking at only but one player that is born before 2000. The other players are born in 2005, 2004, 2003. That speaks volumes about, that's just an average age of about 2021.
Yeah, of course they're using this tournament as a tool to develop some players and give them some international experience, and it's bear a lot of fruit for South Africa. The COSAFA Cup, it's been a crucial tournament for them.
There's a chance for South Africa to increase the tally. It's not to be. Very tenacious is Kadeo, who just sends that ball right back from where it came from. Kadeo is showing some strong defending and very disciplined. Organization has been the key. Communication, another. But support for each other in the white jersey. Musa, Suri. She loses out. Musa did a little too much, and that is a free kick to the Seychelles. She's even asking, what about me? I'm the one that was fouled. What about me, Mr. F? And down she goes. Well, she was held back, but I think the use of the hand there.
Yeah, just a bit sandwiched there and a little bit of frustration. She ended up handling the ball.
Boniface. She just makes it look so simple. Mtlogelwa. Here's Suri in the midfield. Somebody's making a run. Is it Keisha? Is it Hollis? Keeper comes out. Hollis!
She's getting ever so close to getting an opening goal, and she's putting herself about just a little slightly unfortunate over there, but she's always ready to pounce on anything that gets played over the top.
Oh, Hollis. She has a tendency of, you know, in the HollywoodBets Super League where she plays a football for JVW, she's usually that impact player that comes off the bench. Oh, her reading of the game, impressive. Comes on and usually comes in with the bag of goals. I think you remember it was in your playing days when Steve Lecolea would score a goal, and then he'll be walking like an old man on the pitch and showing people that he's got a bag of plenty. Where that came from.
Yeah, I know. It was the master player, the legend Steve Lecolea. Myself being an avid Pirate supporter back in the day as well. You know, and following them together with Dumisa and Gobe and Helman Kalela, who's currently involved with the senior national team.
Here's Aisha.
Impressive South Africa with 10 corners already. To Seychelles is 1.
42 minutes on the clock. Plus the referee's optional time. Good to see the work ethic. Kisha coming all the way back to win that ball back for South Africa. It's not just about the attacking play, and you'll hear the coaches talking about the versatility of the players, the ethics of the players, and how much more they need from the players. You can't be too one-dimensional.
Yeah, it'll be a good headache to have for South Africa coach for the semi-final. Who starts, who doesn't start, all the amount of changes that they've made. Everybody has really put up their hand and given a good account of themselves.
Kwanazi, she's been forced back. You can actually see the players now are holding themselves from breaking that line. Throw in. Musa hangs it in the air. Who's brave? It is Mutluchelwa. Musa will tidy up. There's Mukhale. Pala, Hollis losing out. The flag goes up for offside.
Yeah, they just got to be careful of the offside. You know, they're getting caught way too many times at this point in time, and it's important for them to obviously just keep scanning and seeing. But for the young Hollis, of course, you know, very excited and very keen to score. But she shouldn't get too desperate to score.
5 players were in an offside position in that move. Talking of desperation, that is a plenty. Here's an opportunity for the Seychelles to go into the South African half. Lovely touch onside. Mkluchelwa, she'll give chase. She has the opportunity to play it back behind maybe Kwanazi. There's Mukhale. Keep her foot on the ball firmly at that. Mkluchelwa will take a strike!
The dip just completely misled the goalkeeper there. You know, she could have done better, but that dip there was the reason for her not anticipating that ball will deviate away from her.
This is what they have asked of Mutluchelwa. Took a chance and took it so well. Scintillating. That is Tsekhofatso Mutluchelwa. Look at that ball. She does well to create space for herself. With the right foot, she let rip, and the keeper had no chance. Curtains. The bounce of the ball also deceiving. Going right through the goalkeeper. Well, 4-0 is the scoreline just before the break. Some great goals. Kisha getting onto the score sheet. Mkluchelwa joining.
Yeah, in the situation there, with the goalkeeper with the ball deviating, you got to try and get everything behind the ball. Your complete body has to be behind that ball in case of that dip. And then if her body was behind the ball, I think she could have avoided that ball from going into the back of the net.
3 minutes of referees optional time. 3 minutes of referees optional time. So Mkluchelwa joining in the party, getting a goal in the 44th minute. South Africa turning the half, this being their highest half-time score. It was 1-0 against Eswatini, ultimately running riot and scoring more goals in the second half to give an aggregate of 3-0 in that particular match. Against Namibia, they were locked at 0-0 apiece and ultimately getting a goal in the 84th minute. The singing and chanting hasn't stopped. They would tell you, the fans who have come here, that it was worth it. There's still the check on that particular goal, on whether or not it will stand. the VAR referees. Who are checking to see if this goal is legit. Maybe there was an element of an offside of Mtlogelo on the left-hand side, and maybe if we can replay the build-up to that particular goal, one will get to see where the questions are that are creating uncertainty. The player's been given the instructions to keep warm. Still checking. Well, Ms. Poloto Jeanette Mapara of Lesotho, as well as Letitia Antonella, they have a decision to make. And there's also a yellow card in the hands of referee Grace Agimo. This is the moment. I call it a steal away moment. Players whose celebrations will maybe have to be nullified. The fans who have celebrated will need to be silent. So VAR, that is being referred to. It's taking much longer than anticipated. Three minutes that was shown as additional time has elapsed. Grace Gimo of Zimbabwe is looking at her watch, realizes that she may need to add another 2 minutes. Yellow card being put back in the pocket. So that goal is allowed to stand after so much of time of checking and rechecking. The Seychelles would look on and appreciate the fact that they will continue to run that ball pretty teasing. Goalkeeper making a hash of it. Here's Mkhale! Save from the goalkeeper, spilled into play. Well, this is the moment. That is the line in question. That is to shore up whether or not the player was in an offside position. Look at the player closest to your monitor in white, and then you make the decision. She played her onside, and hence the goal stands. Kwanaz. Asanda Khader. Kwanaz. Khadebe, who's with acres of space, can play it all the way back to the Dynamite and Luli. Pala. Here's Pila. Hendricks. Solves a dummy. Hendricks needs a ball in! Misses. Everybody misses. All it needed was a foot, a tap in. That being the third opportunity that comes from the right-hand side. Here's Keisha. She delivers them delightfully, deliciously, and all it needs is a foot and a tap, and the net will be bulging. South Africa not done yet. In the air, jackknife, mistake, 5. That's the 5th goal. Kwanazi joins onto the score sheet. She gets a name on the score sheet. Jackknife, South Africa love it. Kwanazi getting that ball in the referee's optional time to make it 5-0. look at that ball that was whipped in. Jackknife, Khadebe delivering across, and header, and keeper makes a hash of that. Looked very easy, looked very simple, and I think the lack of communication between that is Matata Ken and our goalkeeper. There's another check that is on the goal, but that goal being given a 5th goal of the match. So it's been confirmed that checking is complete, and they give South Africa the 5 goals that they have scored in this match. It is any minute now that the referee from Zimbabwe will bring an end to the first 45 minutes, and just saying that she blows a whistle once, twice, 3 times, and the celebrations of all those goals in the first 45 minutes. Here is Coach Anna Munati, who is the assistant coach to Maud Kumalo. Well, what a player in her playing days, and also a colleague at the broadcaster. Maud Kumalo given the responsibility to look after these young players. Well, for the Seychelles, all you need is to motivate those players. The experience of Boniface coming to the fold. You're also looking at a hard-working Kadeo in that defense. High fives for the girl of the moment, Keisha Hendricks, from the University of Fort Hare. Sister Bettina plays in the years of the players, and the celebrations, the crowd, they get onto the backs of the players, and the officials make their way to the tunnel, and they appreciate a fantastic effort at the office. We confirm the scoreline from the Madibasa Stadium. It is South Africa 5, Seychelles no. A whole 5 goals that is supported by the statistics that confirm that it is a one-sided affair. When you're looking at the goal attempts and the shot on target, 9 offsides to 0, and 69% possession for South Africa. Could have been a lot more goals in that first 45 minutes. Well, the celebrations. Sister Bettina is blaring from the speakers, and the person to also celebrate with Banyana is without a doubt Itumeleng Banda. Let's get her views of the first 45 minutes.
Well, absolutely, Gloria. I'll try not to be a mascot and stick to my duties of being pitchside presenter. We're indoors because of the rain that's coming down outside. As it stands, South Africa have the lion's share of the game as they're enjoying it with 5 goals to prove. Dane Clay joins me, and we are going to go through all those attempts that were there for South Africa. Just 5 goals, is that enough? Are you satisfied? Do you think Coach Maud Kumalo is satisfied at this point?
Good start from Banyana from the onset, showing good intent. Of course, Seychelles sitting back on the low block, but it's been impressive for Banyana how they rotate the ball from one side to the other side and using the wing play to their advantage.
I mean, the Seychelles started in by frustrating Banyana. Where do you think that first goal just caught them off guard?
Yeah, of course, you know, every time a team like Seychelles concede the first little goal, you'll see the motivation and the heads dropping a little bit, and that opened the floodgates for Banyana.
Well, it absolutely opened the floodgates. We had an opportunity. This was in the 2nd minute. It was Hadebe with the attempt.
Yeah, fantastic ball onto the side and putting the ball into the box, causing uncertainty. Poor defending from Seychelles. There's so many players over there, but nobody really doing their jobs in trying to defend that ball, and South Africa taking full advantage of it.
Keisha Hendricks today gets an opportunity to start, and she's showing you exactly why she should start. We see her scoring goals like this for the University of Fort Hare, and this was her goal within the first half.
Yeah, she's been a live wire. She's been a revelation. She given a start today, giving the coach a headache and going into the semi-final. Who's going to play and who's going to be on the bench? So fantastically taken goal over there. Again, she's on a preferred right foot, cutting inside from the wing, and obviously hitting the ball on target. And it's a good finish off the underneath the crossbar and into the back of the net.
She ran straight to Jessica after scoring that one. They had a bit of a handshake. What does that say about the sisterhood that's forming within the side?
Yeah, it's good spirit. They in camp together. It builds team spirit, and it's fantastic to see. And like I said, the coach is going to have a very big headache come semi-final on who to select and who not to select.
Yeah, absolutely. Hendricks proving to be a menace as he has another attempt of her. She's still on the right-hand side. She hadn't swapped here yet.
Yeah, again, she's putting herself about. I've been very, very impressed with Hollis as well. She's really out there, and she deserves a goal. She must just be a little bit patient. She gets a bit over-eager and strays a bit offside from time to time, but she's really showing signs of becoming a good striker.
You talk about Hollis. What do you say to her in the change room now? Do you keep her on or do you sub her off? Because there have been an ample amount of opportunities for her.
No, you got to keep her on. I think she's putting herself about, there's one thing about the player. You got to keep going until it happens for you, and she shows the mark with her mentality, and she's always there, ready to pounce on anything that gets in her way. There, as we can see right on the highlights, she's always willing to be there, anticipating to be there, and she can only improve as time goes on.
Well, personally, I wanted to get something. I think it will definitely serve her good. But then we had a set piece that was taken, and Pasha then finds the back of the net from range as well.
Yeah, from range, it's been very, very good. I think the Seychelles keeper struggles with the flight of the ball. And, of course, the strike ending in the back of the net. Again, I would have liked to see the keeper getting a full body behind that, but nonetheless, it's a fantastic strike. And, of course, she comes off her line slightly. If she stayed on her line, I think she would have had a better opportunity but with the ball moving backwards, the keeper kind of following the play and then getting caught off her line.
The motivation and the confidence of these players. Do you not think this also goes back to Jess's goal the other day?
Yeah, again, like I say, every time a goal gets scored, the opposition team that's conceding the goal drops their heads more and more. We've seen throughout the tournament on the bigger scores with the weaker opposition how it happens. Once one goal comes in, it kind of opens the floodgates. Sometimes it takes time for that first goal to come or the second goal to come, but once the first, second, third goal comes, and then the floodgates is open and the players tend to drop their head and lose motivation.
Someone certainly putting their hand up for player of the match. Keisha Hendricks then again gets another goal.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think with her getting on the score sheet, of course, the play was fantastic of hers, and to anticipate from the shot, the rebound coming off the goalkeeper, and she was on hand to tap it into the back of the net. So good anticipation from her, good follow up, and getting herself about.
Then we have Hollis again with another attempt. So close, but not close enough.
Yeah, she's been very, very unfortunate, but like I always saying, she's putting herself about getting ahead of the defenders, always playing on the shoulder of the defense and looking to get ahead, and just about she needs to get a little bit more earlier supply when she does make that run before she strays offside. But again, there, the defender obviously covering the goalkeeper. She went past the goalkeeper, but the defender was there to avert the danger away from goal.
When we talk about the defensive pairing today, because we're seeing a different pairing, in the beginning it was a bit slippery to see that there wasn't synergy. As the game progresses, are they finding each other?
No, of course, I think our first 5-10 minutes we made 2 errors. Of course, giving away the corner and presenting Seychelles with a chance, and then of course the miscontrol again, allowing the strikers to show a speed of Seychelles, and but nothing came of it, But since then, those 2 errors, I think has been a flawless performance from Banyana during the first half.
Yeah, Banyana also then being a bit more creative, switching sides with the wings, but also what more has impressed you?
I think Keisha coming over to the right-hand side puts her on a preferred right foot, and she's created so many crosses into the dangerous areas there, just needing someone to create a finishing touch. And I'm hoping that a Keisha cross can found Hollis a little bit, and that will be ideal situation because they've been probing the entire first half.
That switch is definitely benefiting South Africa because then Motlagelo's on a side that she's comfortable on, and she finds the back of the net.
Yeah, correct. The changes have really swapping the sides between the two brings a bit of variation and not making it too monotonous. It makes the Seychelles having to think. Do I allow the player to come to the inside? Do I allow it to stay outside? And again, the strike over there, the keeper should have gotten a body behind the ball when the ball dips. Like I think the dip, obviously, of course, confused the keeper. But I think at the wrong technique, you got to get your full body behind the ball so that if anything happens with the dip, then your body is behind it to protect it. So just the wrong technique from the goalkeeper on that occasion, but nonetheless, a good strike.
How do you bring Porus back from this? It's 5 at halftime.
Yeah, I think, of course, it's going to be difficult for them to come back. A couple of errors from the goalkeeper as well, which leads to them dropping confidence and dropping motivation as well. But all in all, I think Banyana is going to come out again in the second half with good intensity, with the crowd behind them. Every time a goal gets in, the crowd gets louder and louder, and that's what they came for.
Well, they certainly are. We're seeing a new centre pairing as well. Mkwanazi together with Mukhale within the middle. Mkwanazi then also registers her name with a header.
Yeah, putting herself about the more numbers you have in the box and the more balls come into the box, the better opportunities, And again, the Seychelles defenders found one thing there together with the goalkeeper, and South Africa taking full advantage of it.
Are you proud of the set pieces as to how they're being taken?
Yeah, I think they're putting the ball in very, very good areas and putting themselves about there. It's all about the delivery, and I think the delivery in that first half was really, really impressive. But as a coach, you can never ever let your players. You can never be satisfied. You're always going to find that one little thing that needs rectification. But all in all, it's been a fantastic half from Banyana.
Coach Chris right now still needs to lead her side for the next 45. They want to make sure they don't go over 9 because that's what we saw this morning.
Yeah, no, she said they came into this tournament and to learn as much as they can and take it back with them and rectify certain situations. They are learning the hard way, but she sounds very, very positive, and I think she's got a good understanding of where they are as a nation, and of course in the direction that they want to go. It's going to take a lot of patience, and they got to trust the process. But I do think that she does sound very, very convincing to me, and she sounds like she knows what she's doing.
One thing that excites me about the Banyana side is the HollywoodBets Super League, because as much as we may be complaining about it here at home, I believe that we're not understanding as to what it's really doing for our nation.
Yeah, no, I said on air during the commentary that it's important. All the nations has got a strong league back home. Are the nations that are doing well in tournaments and are doing well on the international scene. So I think it's important for all the women's football to improve in each and every country, and then we will see a better level at national team level.
And finally, when we come out, what changes are you making? Who would you introduce for the South African side? But also, for the Seychelles side, do you put in more defensive players, or do you just give everyone a run just to have at least the experience?
I think for Seychelles and for the coaches, it's going to be about the experience. No matter the score, no matter, they'll go back and she will put them together in a room and show them the clips and improve them at training. That's exactly what she said before the game. It's an exercise that she wants to see and go back and work much, much harder and to improve. But for Banyana as well, it's going to be important for the coach to start thinking about the semi-final. I think
yes, absolutely.
Her mind is already in the semi-final. Who do you rest? Of course, Talia Schmidt gets a well-deserved rest after playing 2 good matches.
She'll be watching eagerly from the sidelines.
Yeah, no, of course, she's sitting in the stands today, of course, being rested for the semi-final. That's the luxury South Africa has with the amount of depth that they have in the team, and it argues well for them going to the semi-final.
It's cream for cream, yeah?
Yeah, cream for cream, and for South Africa, it's a very, very good headache to have for the coach, because like I'm saying, it's going to be interesting to see which players gets the nod to start the match in the semi-finals.
I'm going to put your head in the slammer. How many more goals do you think we can get?
I would like to see 5 more goals, since we've seen 5 goals in the first half.
So you'd like to see an emphatic 10?
I would like to see an emphatic 10, because then that means we've got the highest score in the 2024 edition.
Okay, and because unfortunately with the Seychelles, they're not going forward as much as we would like them to, how then do you prepare Jessica for the more intense games?
No, Jessica is professional enough to know that sometimes the game goes like that and she doesn't have much work, but it's important for her to keep communicating with the defenders and try and get herself involved. South Africa, sometimes they need to get the ball back to her just to suck Seychelles out, because they're sitting with a low block at the moment. So every time that ball goes backwards to her, she's very calm on the ball and they start the build-up play. But I think she's fully focused, and she's just got to keep communicating and keeping her defenders aware. If any danger comes, they're ready for it.
Well, there you have it, Dane Clayton. This is his hometown. We also have Keisha Hendricks, who's playing on turf that she's familiar with because she plays out at the University of Forte. As it stands in South Africa, who lead 5 goals to nothing. The Seychelles, will they come back? Possibly not, but what can South Africa do with the opportunity that is poised to them?
Welcome back to the second half of the match between South Africa and the Seychelles. If you are just joining us, the scoreline does read, and it is correct. South Africa 5, Seychelles 0. They have been spoilt with some beautiful goals that have been scored by the ladies in yellow and green as they continue to register their names in the history books. This is a new look side coached by Coach Mordan and Munati. They are up against a team that is the Seychelles. When you look at that, you definitely got to say it is a David versus Goliath the match. It is a Group A, as South Africa booked their position or their status into the semi-finals after the 2 games. They are in a group with Namibia, Eswatini as well. So the Seychelles, who have conceded prior to this match 13 goals, have now conceded 18 goals in total. Seychelles in white. Emma Esperon is the player to get this match underway. So it is all systems go. All the way to Jessica Williams. Here's a chance for Asanda to pick up from where they left off. Ball whipped in over the head of Keisha, but it is Peeler that will bring it back into the penalty box. But Seychelles, who continue to play with 5 players in that defense, will also pick up from where they left off defensively. Keisha has Mutluchelwa on the far left-hand side, and she's been closed down. It's a throw-in for Banyana. Mohale, who's available in the middle of the park, she too can just peel away from Boniface. Nduli will bring in a goalkeeper who has almost found herself at the halfway line, Asanda. Jessica will want to make sure she keeps a clean sheet. There's Mtluchelwa, who's dilly-dallying on the ball, and that just needs a second or two for the defender to hack that ball away and stop the momentum of the attacking team. Suri, the player who's is operating in that midfield. That will be a throw-in for the Seychelles. They've come in, no changes in the second half. Both the coaches just allowing the fluidity of the game and believing in the personnel that is on the park. Perhaps around 65 or so minutes.
Yeah, I think for South Africa, the South African coach is important. I think mindset will probably be on the semi-final already and trying to figure out who's going to start and who's not going to start, you know. But I think for the most part in this game, the players that have been given an opportunity have really showed a good account of themselves, and it just shows the amount of depth that the South African team has.
So, ball being stopped in the tracks. Asanda Khanebe, who is now operating on this end closest to the touchline and the bench of South Africa. The Sundowns player who has grown in stature, who has grown in leaps and bounds. Game has improved immensely from the time she played for the Sunflower Ladies of KZN. Emma Nduli taking no prisoners, and the free kick being given. Questions been asked. What was wrong with that challenge? She gets a thumbs up from her coach, that is Maud Kumalo. She does, you know, go away with a bit of a nibble on the toes, so good decision.
Yeah, again, worth mentioning that Tyler Schmidt obviously getting a complete rest today. The luxury of having depth in your squad for the coach. Obviously playing two of the first games. She played both games 90 minutes and able to get a complete rest, so not even part of the bench.
Well, player goes down. Player goes down. Looks like a moustache clattering into Mokhale. When you look at the stature of Mokhale and you go into that wall, you're bound to close your eyes. You're bound to close your eyes. She's so strong in the air, Mabata. She gets a yellow card for her efforts, Mabato.
Yeah, she's very, very aggressive, very, very strong, and puts herself about there, taking no prisoners in that midfield, and of course the crunching challenge on the Seychelles player, resulting in a yellow card.
So Mokhale will have to be very cautious.
I think the coach will probably start thinking about taking Mokhale off now, as she's also played a crucial part in the previous match.
So an opportunity for Jess to organize a wall. It is Moustache, Pascaline Moustache. Quite tall, Jessica. When you look at the way she jumps in the air there, her hand is almost touching the crossbar.
Yeah, no real trouble there. She had that covered pretty well and moved about, and she kind of knew where she was, and very, very convincing goalkeeping. She's been very, very calm at the back, especially with Seychelles keeping a low block. Sometimes it's necessary for that ball to go back to Jessica, so that we can start to play. When Seychelles start coming out, then we can go back in.
Could this be the answer to Banyana's problems with goalkeepers and height and set pieces? As Asanda Khadebe whips another ball, keeper goes out, makes a hatch of it. That's the 6th goal. It's Kisha. She's on a hat trick. She will celebrate. She walks away for sure in today's match with the match ball. She's really being celebrated by her team. Kisha, she just pops up at the right time.
Nah, fantastic from Kisha on home soil, scoring a hat-trick, you know. I think everybody will be very, very proud of her, including herself, but again, anticipating and getting into the far post. They always say the opposite side of the winger must be at the far post, ready to be there when the ball arrives, and fantastic. She's there to tap it in home to complete a hat-trick.
You got to anticipate, and the keeper, they're making a hash of a simple ball, and Kisha says, you know, those are kind of things that I have my daily bread, and she put that in the back of the net with such ease. It was a matter of time before she gets the 3rd one, and they are really in celebration. South Africa 6, the Seychelles no.
Again, also fantastic for Kisha, you know, putting her hand up to start in the semi-final. Again, a very, very good headache to have for the coach. You know, I wouldn't want to be the coach to select the starting lineup for the semi-final for Banyana.
So here's a chance, the pace of Mtlogelwa, another one that is troublesome for players like Boniface and Matatiken. Fred. Here's Asanda, who did well to stay on her feet. There's Musa! Oh, somebody's opened up the floodgates.
We were just speaking first off about Musa getting into that box more often, and there on that occasion she's in the box at the right place at the right time and finishes it fantastically in the back of the net to get her first goal of this match. But it's important for her to always be the player that she is, in behind the striker, to get as many times in that box as possible, and there she did it perfectly.
So Musa is another player that registers her name on the score sheet. I am actually concerned about the space that we have on the graphics. That will add all the different scorers. So there is a bit of a check on the VAR. We had a goal scored by Pala, a goal scored by Mtlogelwa, a hat-trick by Hendricks, a goal scored by Musa. Mohale, Pila, Kwanazi, Dooley, Khadebe, and Williams will be waiting to get their names on the score sheet.
To complete the scoring for me, I would like to see Hollis to get on the end of one of those goals. I think it will be good for her confidence going into the next round. So whether she's needed off the bench, whether she's needed to start, I think it's important for her to at least get one just to build in the confidence.
And if I was the coach, I'll definitely leave her right up until the 90th minute.
Now, of course, game time is important for her, and I think the coach will definitely be thinking about leaving her out there. She puts herself about, and she'll grow as a player. I've been really, really impressed with her since I've seen her the first time, and of course, she's got a bright future ahead of her.
Absolutely bright. The lights go on, and South Africa stands up and takes note of Tana Hollis. So we confirm the goal that was scored here in the second half. They say South Africa 7 up, Ziphezulu and Seychelles 0. So South Africa are not done yet. And Clayton, this match is really one of those where South Africa is still far off from their record of 17 goals. They're 10 goals shy.
I think at the moment I would like for them to just like for them to score the most goals in this current edition. Of course, it's 9 Malawi before this.
So Malawi, who have scored 9 in their previous match, that still stands as the highest scoring match in the tournament thus far. Can South Africa just eclipse that?
Yeah, they're 2 goals short of that, with plenty of time to play. So a lot of time for them to add on to the tally at the moment. Of course, corner on the far side now, they'll be looking to add on to that scoreline.
As much as they are being demolished on the pitch, that is Seychelles, they will continue to invite them to their beautiful country that has an abundance of nature. Oh, this is painful. Kwanazi gets a brace. Good connection. Kwanazi gets a second goal, scored in the 45th minute, and now gets to score in the 55th minute. Look at that, follows that ball out and makes a connection. Kisha, this time the provider, first time shot, gets a foot wrapped around it. Ichio, hat out to Dane. When we look at technique.
Great technique there from Kwanazi. Great set piece again, the delivery going into the area where they're anticipating it will go into, and Kwanazi makes no mistake from that angle, and it's a fantastic finish to make it 8-0 for South Africa.
So 8-0 is the scoreline for South Africa, and the scoreboard continues to roll over. This match has not yet reached the 1 hour mark. South Africa just needs to put their foot down, and with these kind of conditions, coach can say we've played through the rain, we've played in the heat, we've played with the wind. All they need is snow to complete the 4 seasons.
No, definitely they've given a good account of themselves in each and every match. I think the Namibia match was the most challenging one at the beginning, but they came out on top there just with the 1 goal, but that 1 goal seems to have been enough for them to qualify for the semi-finals.
So here's an opportunity for Fred. She's calling for players to make themselves available so that she can deliver a throw, and it is intercepted by Hendricks. Coaches on the bench still unmoved. It's another one of those connections. Here's Kuchala to this time Kisha is pickpocketed by a moustache. Khadebe, she's given the instructions by Ndluli to take it easy. Good communication that you are seeing by these young players. Here's Khadebe, does well to stay onside, playing it back to Kuchala. Kuchala will take a shot. Could have pushed it to the right-hand side, furthest away from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, the Seychelles are so focused on that low block and sitting in deep. It becomes difficult for them when they do come out. They have no outlet.
She is a crowd favorite. She is the player who got player of the match in the first encounter.
You know, seeing her run there, she has the aura of the Mokoena. Similar position, similar style of play. You know, very aggressive, very robust, and packs a mean shot.
Isabella Ludwig has entered the fray. Isabella plays her football. That is out in the north. Isabella Ludwig plays for Tux. Hasn't she grown over the last couple of months? Her transition to Tux has given her the confidence and consistency to find herself putting her hand up in the lineup. Here's Ludwig.
She was the man of the match against the first match against Namibia with a 1-0 victory.
Put in a fantastic performance. Ludwig staying onside. Kisha needs to connect that. She'll give up the race. Disappointed with herself that that was a little too much.
Well, that's good enough for her. I think the fact that she's always there, ready to pounce. You know, of course, the bounce there took it away from her, but she's always ready to pounce there on the far post, and that's where she scored 2 over 3 goals.
That is where you need to be as a striker or as an attacking player. Get into the box, make yourself a nuisance, chase down everything. Even though South Africa are in the driving seat, you're still seeing the work ethic come through very, very clear as this match reaches the 1 hour mark. And for Coach Maud and Coach Anna, safety first applying. They realize that one of their top players in Mogale, who's very important in that midfield, is on a yellow card, and all they need to do is draw her out before she gets a second yellow, and will miss out. And the semi-finals, they decide, just come sit next to me and watch from the bench. But this is the depth you were talking about, Dana, that one comes off, one comes on. You have no doubt that she will fit into the shoes that have been worn by Mogale. Here's Ludwig. Crowd getting behind her. You know, it reminds me of when Matthew Booth was the player of, or the flavor of the crowd. They would go all out and call his name, and it seems like they're giving her that name, Booth.
Yeah, no, it's only in South Africa, fantastic from the crowd there. You know, our generation after generation, you'll always find a player, and with that there, you can see where it comes from. You call that, you know, that dope Booth story there. You know, every time Matthew Booth used to get the ball, everybody used to go Booth.
But Dane, to be fair, I struggle to find footballers who don't have nicknames.
Yeah, you get it, Pirates. You have Ace, and then you got Miguel Tim as well. You get that old Tim.
Yeah, you've got Tito, the ambulance.
Exactly,
there
you know.
We go. I mean, there's just Mbazo. There's so many of those names that are out there that just some players live up to that. Naughty Mokoena, he was one of those naughty players. But you want to give positive role, man. Let's look at Kwanazi being pushed off the ball and a jersey being tugged. Eventually, the referee blows for a free kick. South Africa in the driving seat.
The set pieces have been impressive. Another one to be able to put it in a good area and get in the end of it.
Here's a set piece for Manyana. Good delivery. Keeper comes out. This time makes light work. And gets a free kick as well for her efforts.
Yeah, with the rain bucketing down, Gloria, interestingly enough, I played my best football in the rain. You know, it takes psychologically, it takes a lot of you as a player, and I know not many players like playing in the rain. So every time I've played in the rain, whether it be a cup final or not, I've always come out on top because of the mindset. You know, South Africa has really showed a good mindset here today.
I said to you, we're going to go for some sort of plastic surgery and get your boots on and get you onto the field. In situations like this, you know, get a wig, put on some lipstick. That will be one of those moments, Dane.
I think I'll stick to my buddies at Kelly's with over 35s.
4-1, the foul count very low considering, I think one of the lowest considering the weather conditions. But that just shows that South Africa approaching with caution, making sure that they don't get themselves in trouble. And what you're seeing about the South Africans right now, is the fact that the goalkeeper in your picture was just clipped on her feet. But outside your picture, as a goalkeeper is receiving treatment, the players continue to run about. Here's Coach Chris who looks on and ponders the future of football. She will definitely get a pat on the back for the display.
She's always sound positive, you know, each and every time. You know, I think the plan and the goal and the aim is clear to see, and it's just about trusting the process. You know, she did say they're here to learn as much as they can, go back and work hard and come back stronger.
Yes, Anna Munati and Coach Maud planning, plotting, look unbothered. Jessica was probably looking for another one of those heroics. She had, she's up for goal of the tournament. She also has another one, goalkeeper of the tournament. That ball just skidding off the boot, and that will not trouble Porus.
You know, I started watching Manana when it was the School of Excellence back in the day when Desiree Ellis was still the captain. We had Solomon as the striker. And of course, as it stands now, South Africa with 9 points, a goal difference of +12, and which is the most important one, the goal against. They've got 0 goal against, and I think they will want that to keep that record intact. And of course, the Seychelles have conceded a whopping 21 goals with 0 points. So a very disappointing tournament for them, but like the coach said, they're here to learn and come back stronger.
Well, they will tick a box and say 2024 present, teacher. In the prior tournaments, they were absent, teacher.
Yeah, if I really go back, even Madagascar once upon a time was in that situation. It was good to see them getting a win of 3 against all odds against Angola.
Gone are the days, and way back in the 2002 and 2005, it was when the Seychelles registered a couple of internationals in a reunion. So that ball a little too much, it gives up the race, and you can just let that slide. Mutlukhalo has been troublesome on the wings, and the goalkeeper. Question will be asked, what happened to the ball girls?
I think with the rain bucketing down, I think they went to get some cover. All the ball girls got to get some cover, you know, rightfully so, because we don't want a situation where they still got school to go to school tomorrow, and actually a good call to get them out of the rain and keep them in safe places.
You know, the coach just spoke about the midfield protecting the defense, but South Africa has just used the weapons, the big guns, to dismantle that midfield, and they have maybe been pushed backwards. As you can see, 6-8 players in that box defending. Coach has maintained that 4-2-3-1 formation, or 5 players in the middle of the park for the Seychelles. Mutlukhalo, return ball for Asanda, hard and low, and that ball just skidding off the boot of a player who herself is on a hat-trick, and that is Mkwanazi. She scored in the 45th minute and referee's optional time. She's also scored in the 55th minute, so she wants to join. Well, Malawi had a double hat-trick players in that match, and that was Letitia Chinamula and Sabrina and Tom. Jessica Williams is being substituted. Martidiso Masabe, who is one of the top goalkeepers in the HollywoodBets Super League. She's got 7-8 clean sheets, and Tanya Hollis's day is done, and her position will be taken by Buku Dlamini.
Yeah, I think Hollis will be slightly disappointed not to get on the score sheet today, but having said that, she's been an absolute menace in that Seychelles defense, put herself about and created space and a lot of goals for her team. She was there and thereabout. she can be proud of herself, and she can only learn from here and grow.
Well, we're looking at Smongi Lintwana, Gugu, Dlamini have entered the fray. Namibia in the other match, making light work of Eswatini to know the scoreline. Goalkeeper of South Africa, who just came on, got a baptism of the weather conditions and had to rely on defenders to tidy up for her.
Yeah, the Mauritian striker Emma really put herself about there again and putting pressure on the goalkeeper, and a little bit laxy-daisy there from her. Could have moved the ball a bit quicker, but understandingly so, she just came on and she got to get into it.
But Dane, at the end of the day, you got to warm up, come into the match switched on and ready to pick up the pieces, and still very much asleep or warming up.
Yeah, not what we expect, but I think she can obviously learn from that quickly and just shrug it off and get on with things and be better.
Matsidiso and Jessica Williams, the player who has given way for Matsidiso Masebe, the goalkeeper. There's a possible penalty also in that Millie, that Masebe, who's just come on.
Not an ideal situation. Of course, hope for the best for her and trying to keep that clean sheet intact after just coming on for Jessica Williams.
So Jessica will say, I still had a clean sheet if they give the penalty. I had a clean sheet. Here's Masebe, who's wondering what the decision is, and the players out there just warming up and staying mobile. Important to knock the ball about. They could share it also with the opponents. 70 minutes on the clock. Jessica or Ludwig.
I know the goalkeeper's got the goalkeeping department, so I think Jessica will be also disappointed if they do concede, because then the goalkeepers like to believe that they can concede and keep clean sheets as a collective.
Look, if they do give the penalty, it's an opportunity for the goalkeeper to redeem herself. So doesn't go for the ball and goes for the foot. But in these conditions, you're bound to slip over, because even the oncoming Emma, who seems to be the player that is attacking that ball.
If they do give the penalty, it will be very, very soft,
Yeah.
I would think. But, you know, when they take this long, normally it's a decision that will be changed. That has been the order of VAR so far throughout the day.
She misses the ball,
And there she wins the ball.
and then she wins the ball with the right foot,
Yeah,
and
so
she goes down.
she should be okay. I think she will be okay, sparing the blushes over there. You know, it would have been quite a drop in the confidence if that ball did not touch her foot. But I think she went for the ball there, and I don't know if they're going to give it or not. We just never know with VAR, do we?
The intention was to go for the ball and then eventually trying to recover using the right foot, and away that ball goes.
Do you think that's a clear and obvious error? Because that's how the law works. Is it a clear and obvious error?
It doesn't look obvious to me. I think consideration of the weather has got to be on top of the agenda here, because a tackle that can slip, you know, that a player can go in unintentionally with either 2 feet or 1 feet, just the momentum carrying you through. And these kind of conditions are exactly that, unless the empathy element will come into it, and it is a penalty.
Interesting decision to give the penalty there. Upon replay, showing that the back foot actually touched the ball, but a front foot, and a yellow card for Masebe, yellow card, And of course, she can redeem herself by saving this penalty. That's the only way she can redeem herself now.
Well, a yellow card and a penalty conceded for Masebe. The report card will show a little blemish of 1 goal, but she's capable, she's able, she's nice and lanky. She has all the work, all the time to save this. She'll want to save the blushes. Who is the player that is given the responsibility? It looks like a Pascaline Moustache that is given the penalty. How does this penalty end?
The captain stepping up for Seychelles.
Pascaline, decent distance and space. It's Pascaline, the captain, who has been given the responsibility. She's up against Masebe and taking her time. Masebe fully focused on the job at hand. Dooley is there, so is Pala. Masebe gets the right way, got fingers to it. You can only but imagine what that goal does to the bench of the Seychelles, and they will celebrate that goal for a very, very long time. Dane, we now got to register goals for, becomes 1. Another one of those teams that rejoice in terms of leaving the tournament with something in the report card. Masebe was very close on that penalty.
Yeah, obviously the skid again. If you can see the penalty as well, it was it skidded off the ground, off her foot. You know, not the cleanest of strikes, and that probably put Masebe off slightly, but then the skid underneath her as well, with the grass being so wet, with the rain bucketing down. She'll be disappointed by that.
Well, she will be disappointed, but it is a wake-up call for any player that comes onto the park. Switch on, 8-1 is the scoreline. Here's Keisha. South Africa will now open the floodgates, not like that. Rushed effort.
Yeah, very rushed, undecisive there, whether to shoot or cross the ball. I think it was a cross-come shot. But it's important when you're that close in the box to put that ball rather on the ground. You know, you never know what can happen with so many bodies out there. You want to keep that ball as low as possible from that angle, from that area.
I
think for crossing as well, the closer you are to goals, the less height you want to put on that ball when you cross the ball. So in that instance there, the closer you are to the goal, when you're inside the box, you got to look at keeping that ball on the ground for someone to tap it home.
79% possession. That speaks volumes. That there's almost only one team on the park. But respect to the Seychelles. They've registered a goal that will only but elevate the spirits. Will give them the confidence.
Yeah, Emma Esperon, there you got to give her credit as well. Never give up attitude, never say die attitude, you know, kept pressing, kept probing. She's the only one that really looked like something is going to happen for Seychelles, and it's just reward, I would say, in the end for her.
So, Masebe from the UJ, Gugu from the UJ. 2 players that have entered the park, and they are almost enticed to get onto the score sheet. 15 minutes to go to the 90. Under the conditions, this game has really been not that bad. Foul count. Player goes down in the box. Bobbling in that 18-yard area. Connection made. Off the woodwork. Another save by the keeper. Ludwig could not get it in the back of the net. Isabella Ludwig. They're calling for VAR. They want to pay back because they believe that that should have been another moment as Kukutlamini turns on and she goes down in the box.
I think there is a case for VAR to have a look at again there.
There is a penalty check. Well, they'll call for it. They've called for it.
I think the crowd would want that, seeing that that South Africa has conceded one. They would definitely be looking at payback.
It's payback time. It's payback time. South Africa conceding one through VAR, and then they get a moment in which they're asking VAR to also give them a decision.
I think that will be to balance things out. And the crowd getting behind that whole VAR and waiting for the decision.
And there they are. If you can lip read at home, it's very clear. They're asking for VAR, and the referee has obliged. I wonder what the decision is going to be. Asking is one, what you get is another. So 9 goals in this match. Malawi also had 9 goals that were scored.
Will we see the referee running to the screen again? Your thoughts, Gloria? She can run?
Sure. She's ran almost for every decision. So I wonder what would be different with this one. But one's got to really be on the side of the VAR. They've got to look at all possible angles. They've got to look at the lines, if they are in sync. And quicker turnaround times is what has been asked by all and sundry. We get the players who continue to just run around and keep warm.
Yeah, with the rain bucketing down like that, it's important for the players to try and keep concentrating, and this is just one of the negatives of VAR. That's where the players end up standing still and getting a bit cold, and obviously the muscles start getting cold.
You can actually see that rubbing off to the players of the Seychelles. They too have learned from South Africa that when the ball is out, when there's a delay, let's keep warm, let's stretch, let's make sure that we keep busy, because the muscles in this kind of condition can be a problem. There is a no penalty. It's a corner. Ball in the box. Boniface will get that furthest away from a goalkeeper. South Africa will tell you, we're not done yet, we're coming back.
Yeah, there's still enough time left, just under 10 minutes of regulation time, and of course a stoppage time as well for all the VAR decisions. I think we'll have a lot more stoppage time as well, so there's enough time for South Africa to get a couple more goals.
Khadebe has Ludwig in space. Pala whacks the keeper and doesn't get hold of it cleanly. One to use to great effect the weather conditions. I think resorting to those long shots.
Yeah, South Africa will be backing themselves with long range efforts, having scored quite a few in this game already, knowing to test the keeper, and you just never know. If you don't shoot, you don't score.
There's Lamini. 21 goal attempts.
Whopping 21 goal attempts, and obviously 8 of them in. I think South Africa will want to rectify. Shots on target 13. I think out of 23, 13. I think South Africa would probably look at getting over 50% of that shots on target.
They should. I thought it would have been much higher. Because this is the kind of match that you want to improve. This is the kind of match you want to show how lethal you are up front, because there is no mercy once you get into the knockout phases. It's the finer margins, it's the small mistakes that are being made, but also the chances that will be created, whether they are buried. Ludwig, Tuck's player, passes and gets into space, applying the basics very well. She's available to get the receiving ball, but Asanda decides to go route one. She apologizes to Ludwig, because Ludwig was expecting for them to play. She's come on and wanted, or wants South Africa to play the tiki-taka, which is their strength. Wins it back. Dlamini pulls away from that is Pascal, or Pascaline. Hacks that away, furthest away. This is the goal scorer for the Seychelles, Khadebe. With 8 minutes to go, Julie says, let's go for one more chance. Ludwig, Isabel, and Antoine, as Antoine Smongile. Ludwig losing out, but Nduli is there just to pick up the pieces. Khadebe eliminates one, looking for the run, releases Dlamini, shows some dummy. There is Dlamini, and another one tries to come through, lays it back on the edge of the box. What does Mkhwanazi do? Doesn't get a hold of that. Turning on the style, turning on the head. Dlamini, jersey number 10. You spoke about these number 10s.
No, effective skill that she's using over there, selling a player dummy and setting up a teammate for a shot. You know, it's always good when you see an end product to all that creativity. So yeah, good move from Banyana.
When you talk of players like Maud Kumalo, they're very big on creativity. They're very big on just making sure that players go out there and enjoy themselves. What they will do is polish that skill. Ludwig, that missed.
Not a bad effort at all. You could see what she was trying to achieve there by putting the ball into an area of uncertainty. And of course the keeper was almost caught off guard again.
A lot of spin, dipped quick enough, just not getting it in the right area. But that, had it been aligned to the goal mouth, I like the way it actually dips. Isabel Ludwig.
She knew exactly what she's doing there, showing good technique.
Khadebe, Pascaline, Ludwig, look at how she just kills that ball.
Beautiful touch.
Absolutely. There's a Khadebe, Ludwig, Dlamini. There's a Khadebe is available. Last touch of a white jersey to throw in for South Africa. A turning on the style here in the last 5 minutes. The job is done. Ludwig, she'll find Smongile. Good, calm and collective Pala. Hendricks gone a bit quieter. Got the return pass. Looking for Mkhwanazi! Oh! A hand-on ahead before that ball even went over the line.
Just about missing out on a hat-trick, young. She's probing and probing and probing, and hopefully, you know, she's putting herself about. Hopefully it comes off her, but unlucky on that occasion.
Some Mkhwanazi. Some witty players out there. Keisha. Return pass. 5 minutes to go to the 90.
I think it was a wasted opportunity there. Just put the ball in the box like they've been doing throughout the match. You know, that short corner, they're not really working out for them. The more balls you put in the box, the better chances you are to score. So I think they'll be disappointed with that set piece.
But a very difficult match at times when you are 8 goals to the good to motivate the players. They need to motivate themselves, encourage one another to get onto the score sheet. Our graphics will see where to put the names of who scored, because you're looking at several players that are on that score sheet. You've got a goal by Pala, you've got a goal by Mutlukelwa, you have a goal too from Mkhwanazi, you also have a goal from Musa, not forgetting Hendricks, who's on a hat-trick. So that's about, what, 5, 6 different players.
Yeah, it argues very, very well. That shows the depth and the amount of the knack of scoring goals throughout the entire team. I think in football, everybody always wants to score, whether you're a defender or striker or everybody. And Banyana showed in this game that everybody is capable of getting on the score sheet.
So the next match is South Africa. They will be up against the winner of Group D, because Group B winner plays the winner of Group C.
Banyana coming away now in the attack again. There's an opportunity. Just off target there. Couldn't connect properly with the ball there, but again, positive, you know, she was disappointed not to hit the target on that occasion.
9 goals and counting.
Just leaning backwards there by Notwane and not getting that ball on target on that particular occasion. I think that will go down as another shot off target, and of course that will look at the coach will look at that ratio of shots on target and shots off target.
So the number of entries that were made, I think that is a department we can tick a box. You're looking at an area of what does South Africa do when they don't have the ball? Do they get into the spaces? Do they make themselves available? What then do they do? Do they zonal mark? Do they go man mark? This is a team that is so well oiled, and so many questions are asked of them. They've also got the skill that would help them get out of jail. That's Ludwig. She'll keep trying. Keeper again comes out, doesn't get a hold of that. But at times as a keeper, you just need to come out and cause a little bit of a disruption, force the striker into some sort of mistake. Talking about a mistake, Pila, who's also had a decent day at the office. There's Anna Munati and Coach Maud Kumalo. I'm sure they'll be feeling cold. A cup of coffee will be ready and waiting for them in the press conference area. And they will be singing sweet melodies of a team that has really been well polished. Boniface. Emma Boniface does well. She has Ludwig for company. Gorel. Chase of Emma. Here's Keisha. Gets that ball over the defense. She needs the numbers. She tried a skill or two, and Pascaline was very quick to respond. Cover defense there. One of her styles of the trickery not coming off on that occasion for Keisha.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, you know, obviously a little bit tired legs, the field becomes a bit heavy, so the legs becomes a bit heavy. What's important for her is just to keep it as simple as she can and be as effective as she can throughout the game. But yeah, young player up and coming, and so she's going to give it a really good account of herself today.
9 minutes. 9 minutes to be added by the referee as the regulation time of 90 minutes is done and dusted. So for the Seychelles, they've got 9 minutes to see if they can navigate a second. South Africa have got 9 minutes to see if they can get to 2 goals. There's Keisha. She'll bring it in, runs into trouble. Anywhere will do. Pascaline obliges. As we have a look at the bench of Seychelles, we say, well done to a team that has come into this tournament. They clap it for themselves, and they deserve all the praise. A young team, and they say, thank you, South Africa, for being wonderful hosts. Thank you to the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality. They will tonight be packing their bags with a smile on their face to say, we scored against one of the teams that we respect so much in the tournament, and that was a big goal for them. A penalty nevertheless, and what a way it was, tucked away by their captain.
Yeah, again, the coach is talking about how much they're here to learn, and I'm pretty sure it was a big, massive learning curve for the Seychelles girls. And like the coach is speaking, you know, she's always saying that they're going to go back, work harder, and come back stronger in the next edition.
They need to be consistent. We need to see them back in 2025. This is an annual tournament that is normally put together. Dooley, Asanda Khadebe, Ludwig, switching play to the right. Kwanazi, she'll pick her head up, look for Ludwig. And she's been sandwiched by 3 players. It goes out to the right-hand side. Lamini switching flanks. Good run by Pila. And if needed, she needs a support play, but she becomes colorblind. She passes that ball to Florentine. It does some tired legs. And also the focus and the concentration. Yes, Lamini delivers the quality. It's in the air and goes above everyone's head, but being recycled. Here is another opportunity for South Africa to press reset, and they go all the way back. Dooley, she can use a goalkeeper, but this is the area you've got to compliment. Everybody's saying, not again, not again, don't give it to her. She gave us, we wanted to keep a clean sheet, but look, you got to go through these experiences as a young goalkeeper to know what to do. And in that moment, Masebe who's got to build the confidence, dust herself. She's still going to be experiencing a lot more.
I'll take you back to Brazil versus Bafana at FNB Stadium, where Ronald Williams conceded 5 goals and made a couple of mistakes in that game. Ever since then, he's grown, and that's just the nature of being a goalkeeper. You know, once you're at the beginning stage of your career, you got to go through that. You know, and that's the Achilles heel of being a goalkeeper. At the beginning of your career, international career, you are going to come under scrutiny.
Missing penalties, giving penalties away, making those saves. You get some moomish moments. It's all part of the life of a baller.
No, definitely. Any goalkeeper, you go to any goalkeeper, there's always a mistake. And it's unfortunately it's a critical position there. So you shouldn't be too hard on yourself, and I'm pretty sure that the coach will be there to motivate her.
Still my favorite player, goalkeeper, George Campos. Remember? Valderrama, the bicycle kick, the Spider-Man. That was incredible skill. Now the ball! Here's Keisha! Oh no!
It's a very, very tired shot over there, heavy legs again. You know, it's extra concentration needed there.
But they were trying to thread that ball through the needle, and Ludwig tried to get to the end of that. Ball just skidding off the top of the head. In actual fact, on the back of the opposition jersey number 12 to get it away, and Keisha could have taken her time, sold a dummy, and asked question, who's that?
I think after scoring 3 goals, I think, you know, she backed herself to hit the target over there. So positive mistake in the end. Could have actually laid it off as well for the players that was waiting in and around the penalty area.
Grueling 5 minutes that are left for the Seychelles. It's a free kick. Emma, crowd don't like the decision made by referee Grace Guimau. She goes in between the defenders. It's a correct decision. Dooley just pushes her out of the way. What is she supposed to do? Stay on her feet?
I think she needs to get in the gym.
Dooley, Isabel, helped on. Keisha, she fancies her pace. Ludwig, and a free kick. Ludwig decides to walk away. She'll give Kwanazi the opportunity to get that hat-trick, and that's the reason she got a bit of a kick on the knee, is Isabel Ludwig. She'll go and hope to be at the end of that delivery. Tlogalo is there.
A good area. They've been very good set pieces throughout this game as South Africa. So obviously opportunity here now to add onto the scoreboard.
Oh, that is Nunes. Alvina, who gets a yellow card, and she says, what for?
Yeah, she looks very, very surprised there.
She is surprised.
Initially I was surprised because Ludwig didn't even look like she was fouled. I don't even think Ludwig thought she was fouled in that instance.
Oh no. She is asking the ref, what did I do? Kwanazi over the ball. Tlogalo over the ball. 4-man war for the Seychelles. There's another card that comes out of the pocket. Or is the referee showing the whistle, actually?
Yeah, wait for the whistle,
to
but
say,
that was very dramatic.
play according to the whistle.
That was dramatic.
It
That did look like a yellow
For
card.
a moment, I thought somebody's getting a yellow card, and I would have said, forward.
It's important to get this ball on target first and foremost.
Yellow card. Born in 2008 in the under-16 side, and that's exactly why you see the naivety. Just 16 years of age.
You can even see the innocence on the face, you know, even after the challenge, you know, she didn't look guilty at all.
Yeah, Alvina. Keeper gets hold of that.
She does look like she can't hurt the fly.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have about 2 minutes to call it a day for referee Grace Guimau. One can only but compliment her work at the office. 9 goals is what it was. for South Africa. They know they would have loved to have a scorecard that reads 3 wins, 3 matches played, 0 losses, goals 4. Will now be 12 goals against. They would have loved to see 0. And instead it will be 1. And a goal difference that is enough to write home about. 9 points, 100% record, and that is not to be taken away. So South Africa qualify. Malawi have booked a spot. They qualify, and we'll wait for the other 2 teams of who will join South Africa and Malawi in the last 4. There's Dlamini, Chess.
Yeah, those fixtures are of course going to be played tomorrow, where Banyana will be waiting to see which opposition they'll be up against in the semi-finals.
Trying to thread that ball through one more time. This is what the crowd want to see. Roll over. And then it's a high ball. Keeper comes out. She's grown in confidence as the match goes on.
Yeah, anticipation improved a lot during the second half. Of course, during the first half with the wind blowing, anticipation was a bit wrong. And of course, Dlamini turning on the style over here, and the crowd absolutely loves that.
She's flying out like a fairy on the pitch, and has maybe got a new name that I will give a ballerina. And she does it so elegantly. That's Madlamini. That brings an end to a wonderful match that was played in good spirit. As you see the players just exchanging high fives. Keisha is the player I assume will be our player of the match. Dlamini also working hard on the left-hand side to protect the back 4. Dueling in that defense was absolutely fantastic. And Isabel Lubin coming in for a Mukhale who was training on thin ice. So, hands are up in the air, and Coach Chris says, thank you very much, South Africa, as they go out tonight and start packing their bags and make their way back to the island. That's been the day that they've had. And again, you look at that scorecard for the Seychelles. They will say 3 matches played, 0 wins and 0 draws. But yes, they've conceded and made it a habit of 5 or more goals in every match that they have played. But 8-1 is one that is more encouraging for the Islanders. So that is a total of 21 goals conceded and just 1 goal scored. Jessica Williams goes out to talk to her players. You can see that there's a great camaraderie out there, smile that has been shared between the 2 players. They're not leaving the park. You know, they still want to celebrate the South Africans. Masebe and Jessica get into a huddle. For the Seychelles, the job is done. It's time to go into the tunnel for the players and the coaches to plan their next move.
Yeah, big headache for the Banyana coach going into the semi-final. You know, a lot of players putting up their hand over the 3 matches, but it's a very, very